What's up, guys? Zinigami here, and Invasion Whitebeard is coming out soon to the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. Remember that how invasion or ambush quests work are that you have a chance of Whitebeard showing up at the end of any raid boss fight. That is a 30 stamina raid boss, a 40 stamina, a 60 stamina raid boss. Doesn't matter what you do, he has a chance of showing up. Now, the actual chances of him showing up are going to vary depending on which raid you're doing and what difficulty you're doing it on. Like, a 40 stamina Doflamingo is going to have a different chance than a 40 stamina Garp. Or a 60 stamina Dofi might have a different chance than a 60 stamina Kuma. That's just from numbers we assume and the numbers that we have tested ourselves. Estimations of the chances of Whitebeard showing up are about 60% chance. Oh my goodness, 20% chance for him to show up on 60 stamina, and maybe about 5% chance or 10% chance of him showing up on 40 stamina. Somewhere about 5% chance on a 40 stamina fight. So it's a pretty low chance. Now, this is zombie-able, but you are not going to want to do a zombie team because you're going to have to do that raid boss. You know, if you're doing a 60 stamina raid boss with a zombie team, chances are you're going to have to zombie your way through that raid boss 5, 6, 7 times before you get that invasion fight to even show up. And then you have to zombie through your invasion fight. So it's a long fight in order to beat him. Now, probably the best team that, if you're not using a bunch of 6-star characters, the best team I can probably suggest to you is actually like a double Shiryu team. And just Shiryu your way through it. Because with a double Shiryu team, you actually have like a 99% chance of success. And then there are a bunch of other teams. If you guys want to see a ton of teams, more teams than I can ever show you, the great guys over in the Japanese Game With community has a bunch of teams down here. In order to see him, we're going to be going through this entire guide. This is a Game With site. If I remember, I'll put that comment in the video description, or remind me and I'll put the comment in the video description if I had forgotten. But what you want to do is you want to make sure Google Translate is on, go all the way at the bottom, click on the see more comments, and you can see other people's teams that they use. The words that they use are mostly gibberish because the translation doesn't work very well, but at least you can see example teams of things they've used to beat the Invasion Whitebeard fight. And they have 170 teams here, so you're bound to find at least one or two that might work for you. So let's go through the actual fight now. Let's set the stage. You've made it through Raid Boss Kuma. Oh, what a hard fight Raid Boss Kuma was. But that's okay, because you get to the end screen and Kuma drops for you, you got your rewards, and then the screen goes black and whoa! It's Whitebeard and he's looking for a fight. You don't get to switch your teams. You have to use the exact same team you just used to beat whatever raid boss you just beat. And it will ask you, would you like to continue and fight young Whitebeard, yes or no? If you hit yes, you're going to go into the fight. It's going to start you on stage 1, just like it's a brand new fight. Oh yeah, we can zoom in. Oh, there we go. So just like it's a brand new fight, we're going to get into there. You're going to start on stage 1. Stage 1, you only can stall for a few turns on, maybe 2, 3, maybe 3 turns, 4 turns. So you want to try to take a hit, maybe. On almost every team here, you're going to want some very high heal per turn because you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Stage 2, you're going to get either a perfect hit barrier or a great hit barrier guy. The perfect hit is both 5 counters. You're going to always kill the guys in the back first, then kill the perfect or the great hit barrier. You might be able to take a turn or two depending on how much health you have, but they're going to attack you for about 20,000 damage. I believe the great hit guy is a little bit under 20,000, and the perfect hit guy is the 22,000 damage. They do hit for different amounts. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there 17,000? It's actually 17,000 for it. And I do think it's different amounts. I think perfect is 17, and I think the great is like 16,000. I know one of them is lower than the other. And then on stage 3, you're going to get some giants. These red giants do not skip their attack under 20%. Do not skip their attack under 20%. So they're just going to attack like a regular giant. They actually only attack for 14,000. So ideally, you actually don't stall on this guy. You stall on these giants. Unless you have a team that does too much damage, such as a double Akainu team if he ever comes out. Please. You can't really stall on these giants because you'll kill them too fast. So you'll want to stall here on something that does a lot of damage. But if you can afford it, stalling on these giants are better because they attack for a little bit less damage. get a few more turns here. Stage 4 is the first big trial for almost every single team. Stage 4 is really short. You're only gonna stall maybe 15 turns by now if you're got a lot of health and can take a few hits. Otherwise, you might only be at like 12 turns here without taking any damage. At this stage, there will always be a 1-turn attack timer. They will have 10 hit points each. There will bind one random character for 5 turns, and it can stack. So if you leave like 2 guys alive, one guy could pick to bind your friend captain, and the other guy could pick to bind your friend captain. So instead of doing 2 characters binded for 2 turns each, if you have level 3 anti-bind, it could bind one person for 4 turns, which would almost certainly spell defeat for you. But if you leave multiple people alive, they are going to bind one random person for 2 turns each, and 10 hit points each means you can't use like Golden Usopp your way through. They have very high defense, 100,000 defense, so you're probably not going to kill them all in a single attack. You're going to want to use stuff like Golden Pound Usopp, Diamante, a delay of some sort. You can use 5+ Luffy to delay for a turn, and that way you can take out enough guys to leave 1 or 2 alive, get binded, and then finish off the rest just using 4-hit combos or something like that. So it's going to be 5,500 damage if you take hits from those guys. And let's say you survive past all that, you make it to Young Whitebeard. Young Whitebeard has almost 5 million hit points. He's going to preemptively prevent debuffs for 12 turns. Spoilers, you're probably not going to survive for 12 turns unless you're using a zombie team. His first attack is 23,000 damage. 23,000 damage on that first attack. Right away, 1-turn attack. Always. After that first attack, he's going to, from now on, attack every 2 turns for 28,600 damage instead. That's going to be a 3-turn attack boost. And then after that, he'll go back to his 22,900 damage. Not that big of a boost, but still, whenever you're talking in tens of thousands, it might matter. He'll also shuffle your orbs and can give you... he just does an orb shuffle after that boost. So, and then on turn 3, he's going to negate all damage. I think it's negate all damage, if I remember right. It should be negate all damage, that or a very high damage reduction. If you've made it to stage 3, unless you're using zombie team, it's probably already over and you've probably already lost. Almost every single team is going to want to burst him down stage 1 and stage 2. After that, you're probably dead. So, and then below 50%, he does do 50,000 damage, gives you Bother, Bomb, Empty, and Psi Orbs whenever he and will shuffle for Bother, Bomb, Empty, and Psi Orbs, or block Bomb, Empty, and Psi Orbs. He does that also under 20%. On turn 4, he will despair your captain for 5 turns. So if you're using a zombie team, you want to use a Corazon zombie team, so that way Corazon will help you remove despair from your captain. Once again, a bunch of teams are available on the comments, but here are some teams that could work for you. The first team is, thanks to Blazing Gamer, one of the super mods, and you've probably seen him around even on like the One Piece Treasure Cruise subreddit, because he does a lot of translating work. The true hero of One Piece Treasure Cruise, Blazing Gamer. So we are going to be using a Time Skip Luffy 5+ Luffy Free Spirit team. You're going to need a Sabo with 100 attack cotton candy. That already will check off a bunch of people who were going to use this team but now cannot. So with this free-to-play team, I know Sabo is just around the corner. We are going to get 2 times skills before Young Whitebeard, and hopefully you can get that work. If you don't have the 100 attack cotton candy Sabo, 100 attack cotton candy on or like at least all max levels on a few other characters can do it for you. So let's go through Raid Boss Kuma first, since Kuma is the first one. This will easily work for Garp, and like easily it's going to work for the Buster Call raid, but let's look at Kuma. Remember that Kuma completely ignores damage from strength and dex characters for the first 3 turns, but Sabo's attack damage will work if it boosts, for example, Luffy or Alvida or Aokiji. In the damage calculator, it actually doesn't calculate it quite right. If you use Sabo's special, it adds a little bit, so just take off like 150,000 damage for that special. whenever you're doing your own mental math. So, against Kuma, if he blows away your Doflamingo, let's say you get these orbs, use Time Skip Luffy special, make sure it's on the 16 times attack, use your Alvida special for an orb boost, use your Sabo special, and Aokiji to give you a tight boost on Aokiji and Alvida and lock your orbs. Means you get 1.9 million damage the first turn, another 1.5 million damage the second turn, and that will either kill Sabo or bring him very close to being dead. And remember, you still have at third turn to attack with your regular attacks. So you should be able to kill Kuma with this team. And then if Sabo is the one blown away, you'll use your first turn just like this for 1.5, and then your second one with Dofi for 2 million. Is definitely enough to kill Kuma. Against Young Whitebeard, the hardest thing about this team versus Young Whitebeard is that you're going to have a very hard time stalling. This team is going to need to have level 5 heal per turn, because you don't have any way to delay except for 5 plus Luffy. 5 plus Luffy, you use him on turn 4, so you can delay the entire team for 1 turn, kill 4 of the guys, get binded, kill 1 of the guys, take a few hits, and then kill the last guy on the last turn of your bind is what you're gonna have to do. And remember that you will carry your orbs into the boss fight. So here, we can hopefully carry our orbs into the boss fight, save a few orbs like these at Young Whitebeard. Once we've made it there, it is a lot. If you can get to Young Whitebeard, then you're probably gonna be good. Doflamingo lets you move your orbs around. On turn 1, you're gonna want to use Alvida special before Dofi. And the reason we need to use Alvida special is we need to be able to take that 23,000 damage hit. So Alvida special, that first hit, reduces damage taken by 75%. Aokiji right away to bind our orbs, and Luffy right away. Make sure you're using that right Luffy boost. So Luffy right away, Aokiji right away, Alvida right away, and Sabo right away. You're going to want to not bring him below 50% health. Make sure you don't bring him below 50% health, because if you do, he will shuffle your orbs and give you those block, bomb, empty, and psi orbs. So don't bring him below 50% health. Get him close though. So you can see here with this much, I will bring him below 50%. So I actually want 1 fewer orb there to make sure. So just be very, very, very careful, either with fewer cotton candies on your Sabo, or just hitting a grate somewhere. Remember, you can always open this up and hold down control. You can change if you hit good, greats, or perfects. Hit a grate in there. Make sure you don't bring him below 50%. On turn 2, since you have Aokiji special on, he'll bind your orbs, so you still have those same matching orbs. You can also move something around. So let's say you had a matching orb on Dofi last time. You could always move the orb from Dofi onto Sabo to get more damage the next turn. Still have Sabo special on, no more Alvida special. You have Dofi special instead for 3 million damage, and that will kill Young Whitebeard. Once again, very good team. You're going to need to get a little bit of luck with orb manipulation on stage 4 going into Young Whitebeard, and you're going to need a lot of heal per turn in order to stall all the way there. Now let's say this team's a little too risky for you. That stalling is quite hard. Another team that works well is the double Shiryu team. Oh yes, Shiryu, that classic man. Don't forget that you will be using the Mihawk slasher ship, so you're going to have a ton of health. 80,000 health. You can stall for days. The only reason we have Doflamingo and Mihawk is because they give you a lot of health. That's it. So use your highest health slashers here. Inazuma is ideal, since Inazuma will let you take 2 hits from Young Whitebeard. Otherwise, just using something like Perona or a Marco, so either like a damage reducer or a healer. Either one, but Inazuma is the ideal one, since you will be able to reduce 2 attacks from Young Whitebeard. With this team, I would like to remind you, whenever you use Shiryu specials, if you use the left one first, and then the right one, when you reset, you still have another chance by using the right one first and then the left one. So every single turn, you get 4 chances of using Shiryu. If that doesn't work, then you're going to have to attack. So you have to attack. You attack, you take a hit from Young Whitebeard, you use him again. Shiryu. If that doesn't work, reset. Shiryu. If that doesn't work, reset. Now I'm just manipulating the orbs to just to like show which order you use the specials in. With this team, you are almost guaranteed to kill Young Whitebeard by turn 4. It's like I've done the math, 99% chance that it works before turn 4. Since you get 4 activations per turn, 4 times that's 16 activations. You should be able to get him no problem. And you have tons of health to stall for your Shiryu specials, and tons of health to take hits from Young Whitebeard. But let's say you don't have a Shiryu of your own. Then you'll want to use something like Shiryu Dofi. So here's a free-to-play version of the Shiryu team. This, however, you only get 4 hits on Young Whitebeard. You're gonna, after that turn 4, you will die, and you only get to use 1 Shiryu special for turn. So you only get a total of 4 activations of Shiryu special. So that means you only have about a 70% chance of success with this team. 70% of the time you'll kill him before turn 4, but that's still decent chances. This is going to work on some raid bosses. You just want to use Shiryu special. Like if you use this against Kuma, you've got a ton of turns to fire off Shiryu until it works against Kuma. Free to play, it does work, but only about a 70% chance of success. Golden Pound Usopp, of course, there to delay and let you stall a ton of turns. And then we also have the Zombie team. Another free-to-play team. With the Zombie team, you're going to need to use a Kotozone Friend Captain because Kotozone Special lets you get rid of Despair. And like we said, Whitebeard is going to Despair our captain on turn 4 for 5 turns. So you're going to need at least level 2 anti-Despair. Use Kotozone Special to get rid of Despair completely, and then you are free to zombie him all day long. You need to have Golden Pound Usopp to get through stages 1, 2, 3, 4, but after that, if you make it to Young Whitebeard, you're guaranteed to win. Again, the hardest part of the Zombie team is your patience, because you're going to need to zombie your way through raid bosses, and also zombie your way through Young Whitebeard. Remember, also with the Zombie team, you can also bring stuff like Shiryu on it. Or you can bring stuff like Elizabello for his punch. Whatever you like. The reason I have Zoro is because he does have a 10% health cut, 30% health cut, and Sabo special to deal damage. And Zoro also helps reduce the cooldowns of Sabo and Mihawk to make things just a little bit faster. And then we're going to go through 2 actually legitimate teams to beat Invasion Whitebeard. So we have double Int Mihawk slashers. Int Mihawk slashers works on a ton of raid bosses. It even works against Kuma, although that is a bit shaky. You're gonna need attack on candies on here. Then you're gonna want to burst. You're gonna want to burst early. So with this team, it does work on Kuma. A little bit risky though. Once you make it to Young Whitebeard, you stall until you get there. Turn 1, you're gonna use Perona special and. Turn 1, you want to use Perona special, hit him very hard. Int Mihawk, Dofi specials on Dofi, Zoro 1, 2, and stage 3 Dofi special. Or stage 3 Zoro special. Careful, don't want to get him too low. You're also not going to have your orbs saved for turn 2. So you want to get him just around 50%. Second turn, use both Mihawk specials and then attack him to finish him off. And you remember on turn 2, you will still have Zoro's attack boost. So you won't have Dofi's attack boost anymore, but you still have Zoro's, and you're going to have a bunch of random orbs. Use both Mihawk specials, take him down. Just don't get him below 50% health, or else he shuffles your orbs. Even if you get him below 50%, Perona's special will be able to negate or reduce that damage. You're only going to take 5,000 damage. And you still have Zoro's special to do a little bit of damage. You just won't have matching orbs anymore. Or you don't have any chance of getting matching orbs on your Mihawks anymore. And then, as the last one, we have double Croc team. And this is the last one that I'm going to be showing you. There are many, many other teams that work. You can do a double Croc team that one-shots him. That is possible. You can do a double Croc team, say, with a treble here. And let's say you put treble... Boop. And another int person. I can't use Croc. Boom, boom, boom. Croc and... Oops, my health. Croc special. Oh. Gotta change my ship. And Dofi special. What am I forgetting? Oh, no, I'm sorry. You can't one-shot him. You have to two-shot him, but you want to use your regular attacks turn 1. I'm done. I'm thinking of later on. We don't have the global units for it yet. So we want to use Khalifa to completely negate the first attack. We'll put the Kuma back here. So with this team, use Robin and Khalifa turn 1. So that way you drop yourself to 1 hit point, and Khalifa negates all damage, so you're going to be able to take that first attack from Whitebeard. Use 1 Croc special and Kuma special. Say you just have a few orbs. Don't get him below 50%. You're going to hear me do that a lot. Don't get him below 50%. And then after that, turn 2, you'll have your orbs locked. Doflamingo special, just to make sure you have even more orbs. And then the other Croc special in turn 2 to take him down. You can do it the other way, Doflamingo first and then Kuma. But if you do Doflamingo first and then Kuma, you want to be careful that you don't bring him too low. Either order works. You can also use Dex Doflamingo here. With Dex Doflamingo, your damage is going to be significantly lower. You're going to have to get lucky with orbs. Kuma special, make sure you don't bring him below 50%. And then Doflamingo special, either order. Get him close to 50%. Finish him off that second turn. You will save whatever orbs you keep in the first turn thanks to Robin. So a lot of these teams, not the safest teams out there. If you have legends on your account, there are lots of better teams you can use. Just like all 170 of the ones right here, thanks to GameWith. Guys, I've been Zinigami. Thank you so much for watching. I hope some of these teams might help you. Good luck getting that Invasion Whitebeard to even show up. And after he shows up, good luck killing him. If you like this, you can go to patreon.com/Zinigami and subscribe, or check us out live at twitch.tv/Zinigami. And as always, y'all stay beautiful.